A viewer of mine sent me an email a little while back that made me realize something interesting. Kreia has little to no respect for most people. She has no respect for the Exile's crew, the Blinded One, the Servant of Atris, the Alien, and the Fool. This viewer specifically asked for my opinion regarding this Fool. Kreia says Atten is a fool whose potential lies downwards, not upwards. Yet his evolution involves him becoming a Force user. He's one of the lost Jedi. Could Kreia have been wrong in her assessment? I don't believe that Kreia's opinion of someone is based simply on them being able to use the Force or not. Whether you're a Force user or not doesn't change her opinion of you in one way or the other. Maybe how you go about improving your Force abilities, and for what reason, and how you use them is something that she can respect. But we all know that what she respects the most is power that comes from within. A person's own skills and talents disconnected from the Force is what she respects. Force powers don't come from within. They come from an external source that either allows it to be used or is demanded of it. But either way, it's not truly yours. The only people that we know of that Kreia ever wholeheartedly respected was Revan and Mitra Surik, the Jedi Exile. Not because of their Force powers, but because of who they were. Imagine you were going to build a birdhouse. You gather the wood, the nails, the hammer, saws, all the equipment and material you need, and then you go about your day building this birdhouse. The Force is the equivalent of simply hiring a carpenter to build the birdhouse for you. Finding a way to trick the carpenter into building the birdhouse for you without you paying him, well, that's another story. But this isn't what my viewer made me realize, however. I tell him all this, and in his reply he brings up Atten's usefulness. That's what Kreia was mostly referring to. Kreia, with all the disrespect and even resentment that she shows others, what I realize is that she never thinks of anyone as useless. To her, even the lowest of the low has purpose. Everyone has a place. As evidence of this, let's go to Nar Shaddaa. You can encounter these two exchange thugs shaking a guy down. You remember what Atten said the first time you get there?
Word of warning, watch where you step, or you'll fall for hours.
You're given the option to force persuade these two thugs to plunge to their deaths. I know many people who would say, well, the world would be a better place without them. Kreia doesn't see it that way. Instead, she is infuriated.
Are psychotic urges all that drives you?
Never have I felt the rush of battle. So quick or sudden.
I am not speaking to you, slave. Be silent. I would examine the situation as a whole, all of its ties to the Force, and then decide which string to pull, not sever them all at once. Such crude methods grant you nothing. Perhaps, and perhaps in the future, you will remember such a lesson. There are many paths in life, and some are short and empty. Oh, I grow weary of this. Perhaps time will allow my words to take root, if your common sense will not permit it.
She's saying that in your shoes, she would do her best to take everything into account before performing such an action. In a universe where everything is connected by a force, who knows what kind of far-reaching consequences such an action would have. This is exacerbated by the fact that the exile is a wound in the Force. The Force can't control her. There's no way to know for certain if these thugs in some roundabout way was set to make something disastrous be avoided or something. Think of it like time travel. If you would ask people if they would go back in time and kill baby Hitler, plenty of people might say, where do I sign up? But think about it a little deeper, and for all the atrocities committed thanks to him, maybe things would have been different without him. But positive difference? It leaves the door open for someone else to take his place. Someone potentially worse. Maybe someone who wouldn't have made all the mistakes he did that eventually lost him the war. Or what if Germany's economy never recovered? That's the kind of thing that Kreia is talking about. And that's why you can't go around killing people for no reason. To Kreia, everyone has worth. Whether to become an influential leader that brings a civilization into a golden age, or a tool to be used. Kreia uses people as tools all the time, and instructs the exile to do the same. This doesn't make them worthless. As a tool, you're helping someone achieve greatness. Greatness that could end up benefiting countless others. This is something that I have trouble with, truth be told. Some days I wake up and I think, who cares? If I end this nonsense now, who's really going to miss me? Whose life is going to be affected in the long run, even 1 iota, by me no longer existing? But I gotta remember, even to someone like Kreia, remember, you are not worthless. I'd like to thank 2 people who without them I never would have made this video. Alexander Riley for sending me that email. Thank you. If you have questions or just want to talk Star Wars, drop me an email, because you're really helping me out, as you can see. And another big thank you goes out to Evan Justice. This guy, man, donated another 20 bucks, but more importantly, he's the one holding me up, telling me that I can and should keep making videos like this. Words have power, and those words are worth everything to me. Although a little project of mine failed and thus I won't be using the money for what I intended to, rest assured that I had a backup plan and still used the money to help the channel. So take that, life, giving me limes instead of lemons. I'll have you know that where I'm from, we don't even make lemonade. We make lime-onade. I don't know, we don't really have a word for it. It's just lime water, but it's delicious. That's what matters. Not to worry though. I don't intend on abandoning that little project just yet. The Last Jedi was right about one thing. Failure is one of the greatest teachers.